Bruno is going absolutely nowhere. That is the official announcement from Eddie Howe this morning during his press conference. But we will come on to that and actually find out what Eddie had to say a bit later on. Let's look into the main crux of the actual press conference. And not a lot said by Eddie Howe this morning, to be honest. Keeping, as usual, things very, very close to his chest. First of all, on the game against Manchester City, he said, we'd love a very good performance. This is the ultimate test. These games against City and Liverpool are the real barometer of our quality. We want to narrow the gap between us and the top teams in the division. So again, he's going to want to prove a point. He's going to want to prove to a lot of people that Newcastle United do have the quality in the side that can, put up with Manchester City and Liverpool and what they've got to offer coming against us. Now, we know the Manchester City are a top side. The champions of England, of course. You look across the whole 11 and it's just world class from start to finish. And on the bench, which is where I think we are going to struggle. And I've mentioned that in shows gone by. However, our starting 11, without a doubt, can give Manchester City one hell of a game. And I'm hoping that we go out from the very off and just go at them. It's pointless sitting back against City because they'll just unlock you and just destroy you. You've got Haaland up front, of course, who does not need many opportunities to score goals. And that is what we've got to be aware of. And I'm sure Eddie will be aware of that anyway. Now, on injuries, he said Ryan Fraser, we hope, will be fit and available. He had a back spasm late last week, so he was a late withdrawal from the Brighton game. Matt Targett will make a very late decision on, so it's not sure whether Matt Targett will play. Now, we know what Eddie Howe's like in these press conferences. He doesn't give anything away. Certainly not prepared to give anything away when it comes to the opposition. He's not going to tell Pep who's going to play, who's injured, who's not injured, etc. So he will keep his cards very close to his chest. Now, if we are missing Matt Targett for the game, then obviously it will be Dan Burn going in at left back again if he plays 4 at the back. Now, he's obviously got an opportunity to then move to 3 at the back and possibly play Ryan Fraser as a wing-back. Now, whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. I'm not so sure myself whether we can trust Ryan Fraser, whether he's got the pace, for one, to play at left wing-back. So for me, he would probably go Dan Burn again at left-back if he decides to go with the 4. But again, not giving anything away. Now, on last season against Manchester City, we know it was absolute disaster, wasn't it? 4-0 and 5-0, 9-0 aggregate score. I think we've come a long ways from them days, to be honest with you, and I don't think we have to look forward to those thrashings anymore, providing we're up for the game, of course. But he did say the results were hard on us, but I thought they were tighter than they look on paper. The home game, there were bits of our performance that were very good, but you need a bit of luck and to be clinical, and we probably weren't that. Now, when he's talking about being clinical, we know already this season that we've lacked that side of our game at the top end of the pitch. We've lacked that clinical side to put teams away. We had opportunities against Brighton, we didn't take them. We had opportunities against Forest, we took 2 of them. One of them was a wonder goal, of course, from Fabian Schär, and the other was a brilliant finish from Callum Wilson. But it's the simple goals that we don't seem to be able to score. Crosses into the box, headers into the goal. We lack that creativity up front. And that's why I think so many fans have been crying out, really crying out for somebody who can deliver a cross, a striker backup, etc. Because we're not clinical enough, and we know that. And I think that's what Eddie Howe's getting at there. He's talking about being clinical, and that's what I hope that we've been working on in training this week. And finally, on the arrival of Darren Eales as the new CEO, he says, I'm very much looking forward to building a relationship with him. Someone of his experience and knowledge will only help us become more efficient in every way of working. So I'd like to welcome him to the football club. So again, it's somebody for Eddie to work with, isn't it? And somebody who will help Eddie in his job, like Dan Ashworth. A lot of crazy comments coming in, of course, saying, Dan Ashworth's not doing a very good job, etc., because we're not getting the signings that we thought we would be, etc., which is a load of garbage. Let them get their feet under the table and let them start, building this football club. Yes, it's frustrating me that we haven't got anybody else in, but let's just hope. I mean, on the transfer front, he gave nothing away. He was asked about Pedro, and he said there was no news, nothing to update anybody on, which is what he's been saying practically in every press conference that he's done through the transfer window. He won't give anything away. He won't tell anybody if we're close or not. Now, whether that's a good thing, I don't know. Whether you think he's got to update the fans or he's got to keep people abreast of the situation, I don't know. That's your opinion. But for me, just keep things quiet until there's something to announce, because we know what the Newcastle fan base is like. Some people can say, oh, somebody's coming in for a medical, this is happening, and it doesn't happen, and it just winds the fans up. So just wait till the club says something. But, the transfer window is starting to close, and we've got to be very aware of that, and I'm sure they are. Of course they are. But speaking of transfers, of course, Bruno was linked with Real Madrid a couple of days ago because of the Manchester United signing of Casemiro. Real Madrid made it plain that Bruno was their number one target. Now, Eddie Howe has replied to that today and said basically he's not for sale. Absolutely no way for sale, because he knows that Real Madrid are monitoring Newcastle United's Brazilian international. Now, a report in the Athletic by George Culkin states that Howe gave the suggestion Newcastle might be prepared to sell Bruno after 7 months of a short trip on Tyneside. He said, no, absolutely not. We're trying to build a squad here that we feel can take the club to be successful over the next few years. We want to build that squad and enhance the group, not take away our best players. And of course, in the past, that's what we've done, isn't it? We've built up these players and we've sold them on. Mike Ashley, we know, bought French players very cheap, and they suddenly turned into quality players, and he would sell them for a profit. That's not what we're like here at this football club anymore, and good. We don't want to see that. He did admit, however, that the interest in Bruno reflected his impressive start to life at St James's Park. And he says, regarding speculation, I've got no problem with that as such. It's a compliment to Bruno and how well he's done for us. He's been incredible, I think. And I think he's only going to get better from this point. So he's a very valuable member of the team. So, again, turning that on Bruno and saying, well done for your performances. You've been fantastic for us. And he's looking forward to seeing what Bruno can do in the future. Now, again, Newcastle have had a long, dispiriting history of selling their best players, but with the new ownership aiming to compete with Man City and Liverpool in the next 5 to 10 years, retaining their stars will be important. And Eddie said it will be part down to how well we perform and where the team goes in terms of satisfying players who do very well for us for an extended period of time. Bruno has just started his journey with us. We desperately want him to grow with the team. We want him to make him stronger and show his qualities even more. That is our aim. He has done so well in a short period of time. The supporters love him. We love him. And I think he's in a good place. So that's very, very positive from Eddie Howe, of course, just coming out there and saying, Real Madrid, yes, fantastic that you're interested, and that is a credit to Bruno for the way he's played, but he's going nowhere. And clearly, Eddie Howe wants Bruno to be a major part of this growth of Newcastle United, the project, if you like, and wants him to be the mainstay and the spine of the team, which he's certainly capable of already. We've seen some brilliant performances from Bruno, and fantastic that Eddie Howe says he can get even better, because if Bruno can get better than he's already playing at the moment, then that's just fantastic. I do think he should be further forward. It's a shame John Joe Shelby has this injury, because obviously Bruno is having to play a little bit deeper, which is affecting his game a little bit. But hopefully, he'll stand out against Manchester City tomorrow. He'll be surrounded by world-class players from Manchester City. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Bruno plays, to be honest, and copes with that. Very excited about that. But there you go. That is what he had to say about Bruno. That is what he had to say in the press conference. Not a great deal, to be honest, but keeping things, as usual, very close to his chest. So let me know. Would you rather Eddie come out and be honest about these transfers and give us an update of what's going on? Or are you happy that he's keeping things close to his chest again? And of course, what do you think about Bruno? The links with Real Madrid, but Eddie Howe has quashed them this morning, pretty much stood on them like a cockroach in a hotel room, which is fantastic for me. But let me know in the comments what you think. As usual, if you have enjoyed the video, guys, please do stick a like on it. It does help us move up those YouTube search results. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, plenty of Newcastle United content on here. Do drop us a subscription. It's free to do so. And, of course, hit that notification bell as well, which will let you know when we do upload or we go live. But thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on the live show tonight for the TTR Friday. Start your weekend with a good laugh and the right way. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care.